Welcome back to Fab Automotive Detailing and Tool Reviews. As you guys notice, I am in my new shop and we have a 2018 Chevy Tahoe. Man, it needs a lot of love. We're actually going to do a little bit of detailing in this video. Let's do it. All right, so for the first time in a while, I'm actually going to do a little bit of detailing on camera. I haven't done that in a while. It's just been a lot of review videos and stuff like that. I've kind of lost interest in YouTube a little bit. It just is what it is. But this is a 2018 Chevy Tahoe that the customer bought brand new, and he's always had white or silver cars. He's never owned a black car. He called me and said, this thing has a lot of blue oxidation to it. So I said, well, I need to look at it before I can give you an estimate over the phone. So I met him at a restaurant actually and looked at it out in the parking lot. That's where he was at. And I just met him there. And I'm looking and walking around this car and I'll show you guys. I'm looking at it. I'm like, what on earth is on this? I've never seen this before. I said, this isn't oxidation. He goes, well, hey, let me tell you, I take really good care of my cars. I wash them myself. I use Dawn dish soap and I stopped them right there. I said, that's it. This is a residue from years and years of washing with Dawn dish soap, that degreaser, and it's probably hurt the paint. He had the hood repainted because the paint was etched. The roof is etched. He said not to really worry about the roof, and it's probably because the Dawn dish soap has hurt the paint over the years. So I'm hoping in this video we can remove this residue and just give them gloss back. I noticed it has hard water spots all over it. The paint is only like 4 mils. So I told him, I said, I'm not going to compound and cut heavy on this. It's just what it is. The clear coat is your UV protection, and there's not a lot of paint because my gauge is a total thickness. So the clear coat's got to be pretty thin if it's total thickness of about 4 to 4.25 mils. But what we can do, we can enhance it. We can remove this residue, hopefully from the glass and from the paint. Bring your gloss back. The water spots, just it is what it is. He's been washing. He's an older gentleman. If my guess, I have 70 to 75, and he washes this big vehicle himself. He probably doesn't get around fast enough to get it dried. But he said, that's fine. I'm not worried about the water spots. Just give me some gloss back. It says his wife's vehicle. So let me take you guys around the car, show you what it looks like, and then we're going to sit down on a stool and start cutting on it with a probably Fabulous finishing polish. See if that'll remove that residue and bring some of his gloss back. Okay, so here it is, 2018 Chevy Tahoe. Let's start off with the hood. He just had the hood repainted, and it could have been a better job. But it was less than a month ago. I can't do anything to this paint at all. But he's happy with it. I mean, outside, you guys, you don't see all this outside. It actually looks pretty decent outside. But let me show you the roof. Where the roof is all checked, is what they call that. And you can see wax residue everywhere from him waxing it. Like I said, he does all of his own stuff. I'm not here to do any of this wax removal. This is just to remove this residue and make this thing glossy again. But look at this. That's how bad this black paint is. And then like this, I'm not sure. I think paint's really thin right there. I couldn't get my gauge in there, but right here and right here is only about 4 mils. So something happened right there. So I'm not really worried about that. But look, there's no gloss to this paint at all. The glass is all spotted. I wish I could show you guys the blue. You just can't see it at all inside. But look at the door handles right there. You see that? Right there and over there. That's what the whole paint looks like. Grab my paint light. Look how bad this is. This is probably one of the worst black paints that I've seen. And I've done a lot of black over the years. Look at all these water spots. Not here to do water spots. I'm going to mention that in the video because people are going to say, man, you did a terrible job. Or people will say, you didn't remove any of his water spots. I'm not here for that. That stuff's baked in for the last, what is this, 2025? So, I mean, basically for the last 6 years, this thing is just baked in all those water spots. He's been washing it by hand this whole time. The water spots on the glass. The back end's got a lot of weird paint missing on the back like it should be on the front. That's really weird. All those white spots is paint missing. But my job is to bring the gloss back. That's what my whole job is in this video. Or on this car, I should say. I wish I could show you guys the blue tint. It's not showing up on camera unless I see it during editing. but it's blue. I mean, this is just so bad, you guys. All right, let's see what we can do with it. All right, so hopefully I got you guys set up. You got a good view. I'm just going to be using the Phoenix EOD Fabulous Finishing Polish. I think this is going to remove the residue pretty nice. There's just a light cut to this, and like I said, it's not here for paint correction. It's here for basically an enhancement, and let's bring the gloss back. And Fabulous Finishing Polish really brings the gloss back, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Fabulous Finishing Polish, and then once I'm done, I'm going to go around with it with an all-in-one. That's going to also remove some stuff and also leave some protection behind. So let's get to it, and let's see if we can't remove this stuff. Speed one. It's been a long time since I've actually had a polisher in my hand. Let's just do it like this. And we're using foam because I'm not looking for a ton of cut. Speed 5. Start with his body line there. Just gonna do one more pass. Just want to see what it's gonna do. I can see it's doing a really good job. And I designed Fabulous Finishing Polish so you could see through it. You can see the correction that you're getting. Right here, I got kind of worried about right here. I'm sitting there talking the whole time. I don't even know if you guys can even hear me, because my microphone's on my chest and the machine's really close to me. But what I was saying, if you didn't hear me, is I can see through it. I can tell it's doing a good job. It's not hot, which is what I want. It has a very long working time, but I just want to do a couple passes just to see. Yeah, I knew it was going to do a good job. Just to see where we're at. Just want to get an idea. You guys, that already looks incredible. I'm going to say it again. My job is to just do this and not remove these water spots that have been on here for 6 years or whatever. Yeah, 6 years, 7 years, whatever. 7 years. Take a look at it. So we started like this. Let's get the light on it. Started like this. And now we're there. I think that is going to be very nice. He's really going to like that a lot. I'm going to use the new Next LED Ultimate light. I will be making a dedicated video on this light. It's a very cool light. Look at that. Huge turnaround. Let's go to a different color. Massive turnaround. And that's just a couple quick passes with Fabulous Finishing Polish. I mean, I'm not getting paid to do a paint correction, which I can't do on this anyways. So that right there is absolutely amazing. Removing that residue, and it removed quite a bit. Okay, so the fender is done. Look at the dramatic difference that we've got here. Heck, just follow that light up there. Huge difference. Brought the gloss back. And we're gonna keep on moving. So it's funny to me that everybody thinks Fabulous Finish Polish won't do anything but give you gloss. It will do some cutting, but not a lot. It's more of a gloss enhancer, helping you remove compounding haze and stuff like that. It does a really good job at that, but it will remove some imperfections if you use an orange pad, a wool pad. I want to use wool or microfiber on this because it's so thin, but this orange pad will be plenty to cut on here to get rid of that residue and be safe. Half the door here. I use my 3-inch up here, but I'll get what I can now. My 3-inch, or 2-inch, or 1-inch, whichever I need. You notice I don't have really slow hand movement. And see, and as I'm doing it, I can see that I'm removing a lot of it as I'm going. This stuff wipes off like a breeze. This guy's gonna be through the moon. His wife especially, she was the one really worried about it. More than he was when they dropped it off. She's like, can you give me my gloss back on this? Can you make this thing shiny again? I'm like, well, I hope so. If not, I won't charge you anything. I think I can show you on this badging what I'm dealing with. Yeah, my gosh, look at my reflection there versus here. Yeah, so just come on down, Charlie Brown. Bam. I think I can show you. Yeah, you see that? Where I had to go around the badging. It has a blue tint to it, not just because that extractor behind it's blue, but it has a blue tint. It's so hard to show on camera, but yeah, we are making huge progress. All right, so this side I have not touched. Okay, this side over here, I just got done using all the Fabulous finishing polish. I've still got to use my 1-step on it, which will remove a lot more imperfections. And now we have tons of gloss. All right, so I pulled it outside so I can take a look at it. It's not dark yet outside, but it's getting there. This thing looks really good. I really hope I can show you guys. I can't. The camera does not do it justice as far as the blue on like the glass. But paint looks really, in fact here, that right there. See, that's why I brought it out here so I can check. That right there is what the entire paint looked like when it was outside yesterday when they dropped it off. You can kind of see it on the glass too, back here. But what I'm doing, I'm pulling it out. I'm seeing what I need to fix. See all that? That's what that was all over the paint. It's all over the glass. I just need to make sure I get on my body lines better, but it's almost dark, so I just wanted to get it out here really quick so I could take a look at it. You can see it around all the, right there, you see all that? You can see it really good on the, look at how blue this is. This should not be blue, the windshield. But we have mass improvement here. So I'm gonna finish doing all that, and then tomorrow when I come back in, I'll put a 1-step on it, which is gonna polish it up even a little bit better, and gonna add some wax to it, and I'll turn the camera back on when we start doing that. But yeah, look at that. Look at how blue that windshield is. Okay, so the first stage is done. This is the hardest stage. You know, I had to do all the glass, which I just used a wool pad with the Fab Finishing Polish. Did a great job, removed almost all of the blue. There's spots I can't get to. I'll probably do by hand here in a little bit, but right now I need to get this thing waxed. That's my main concern at this point. I want to show you guys something I just did. So follow that light. You see the line right there? See how it's hazy here? So I wanted to do a test spot. You guys, I have fallen in love with this Malco Velocity that they sent me 6 or 8 months ago. I've been using it more and more and more, and this is why. It's a fantastic all-in-one. Only lasts about 3 months, but you can put a topper on it and get a little bit more life. But look at that, look how much better there's that jetting effect you get on this black paint. It's fantastic with the Malco Velocity. So we're gonna go ahead and do it on this fender and we'll see what it looks like. You know, you guys, I just did something I've never done before. And when I was putting this on a minute ago, my polish or my wax all-in-one, I laid it on my lap like I always do. I turned around to put my bottle up and my elbow hit this and it went flying. It went everywhere. So don't do that. All right. This stuff is so easy to work with. It's the easiest all-in-one wax I've ever used. Even over my favorites, the Griot's Garage ceramic all-in-one. This beats it by far as application and removal. Hands down the best I've ever used. And I use it on a speed 4. Get it spread out. And I've got plenty on my pad from doing the first half of that door. That was my test section. All right. We're not going to go super slow. We're just guiding it. We're not applying any pressure. The areas that I can't get with this, I'll get with my 3-inch or my 1-inch. Now here's the absolute magic of this product. You don't have to wait to wipe it off. You don't have to wait for it to haze. It's immediate wipe off. And watch this right here. Let's see kind of view you guys. Yeah, you guys can see it perfectly. Watch this, one swipe. It's absolutely amazing. Easiest wipe off I think I've ever had for an all-in-one, or actually probably pretty much any wax, no dusting, which is obviously always a good thing. And that's it. It's off. And then I'll follow it up with another towel. Oh, so easy. And it removed a lot of the swirls too. So here's where we started. You can see right there to there. And those lines you guys are seeing, I am not seeing in person. So that's really driving me nuts on this camera. And it looks perfect in person. Yeah, huge difference. So it must be because of the curvature of that. It's reflecting off my camera lens weird because, okay, so I'll show you guys. I still haven't fixed this side, as you guys can see on the door I showed you to begin with. Okay, now let's take this. See how nice, there's no lines going up down. Look at the difference here. Just by using an all-in-one. Absolutely fantastic. All right, it is done. It is not perfect. There's still some swirls. There's still some problems with the paint, but we restored the gloss, which is what they were after. Look at that gloss. I'm just coming across that side. Tons of gloss. There's still some swirls and stuff in it. There's not much I can do about that. He washes it with a bath towel and Dawn dish soap, so it's got a lot of problems, but we have restored what he wanted to have restored, which is what was more important than anything else, was the gloss. I do have some spots in the glass that I'm having a hard time because of where they're at. It's really hard to show you. Yeah, you can see it there. In the corners, I've polished by hand. I can't get my polish in there because it wants to beat the plastic on and seals. So I'm having a hard time with that. I'm just gonna let them know on that. But it looks so much better with a proper wash and a good polish and an all-in-one wax. And it looks very, very good. All right, you guys, so please forgive this because I've been working on this thing for the last 2 days. I probably look like hot garbage at this point, but man, am I stoked for him to come pick this up. It looks incredible. I think it's gonna exceed his expectations other than the water spots on the glass. We have some water spots left in the paint, but not as many as I thought we were gonna be. I thought we were gonna have a lot more. The paint looks incredible. Now you can still see, I did talk to the customer on the phone. I said, do you wash this obviously with Dawn dish soap, but do you dry it with a bath towel? And he said, yeah, I do. Um, you can see where he's constantly doing this, and it goes through the crew car wash when he doesn't want to wash it by hand in the wintertime. He takes it to crew car wash. The rest of the time he washes it by hand with the bath towel. It is very, very heavy. But we removed a lot of it, but not all of it. I would say we removed 80 to 85% of all of that. If you get in the sun just right, you can still see some of the parts where he's doing this with the bath towel, because bath towels don't dry like a microfiber, and doing this with it, and it looks pretty bad. But I explained everything to him beforehand. I made him understand the paint was too thin. I can't go and cut really heavy with the compound on this because I don't want to hurt the integrity of your clear coat. That is your UV protection. So I just told him straight ahead that the water spots, whatever I can get rid of, are going to be gone. But if they're there, they're going to be there. And as far as the swirls are concerned, but his main concern and his wife's main concern was the blue tint that was on the glass and the blue tint all around the paint. They just wanted that gone. Well, guess what? We delivered. This looks fantastic. Fabulous finishing polish with this, a medium cut pad. I didn't want to go too aggressive. And then I used Malco's, why am I drawing a blank? And then I used Malco's Velocity, which is an all-in-one. So it helps give me just a little bit more cut, a little bit more gloss. As you guys saw the jetting effect, you could see where it was better where I had used the Velocity. And it applies about a 90-day protection. And then I did put a little bit of protection on top of it. Malco's other product, I don't remember the name of it, but I didn't show it in the video anyways. That's their SO2 spray, which gives you, I think it's 2 months worth of protection. This customer did not want to do a ceramic coating, which I understand. So this is exactly what he wanted. I stayed within his price range. That's not him. I stayed within his price range of what he wanted to spend, and I think he's going to be absolutely stoked. So yeah, that's about it. I just want to show you guys, don't wash your vehicle with a degreasing soap like Dawn dish soap or whatever there is, Gain or whatever the dish soaps are that are out there. Don't wash your car with them. They are meant for dishes for a reason. They are not meant for clear coat or for painted vehicles. It will hurt the surface over time. It's going to leave a film or residue behind, and then as the sun bakes that residue, it makes it hard to get off. You can't just remove it with a towel. You actually have to do some cutting on it. But this vehicle turned out great. I'm very happy with it, and I hope that you guys liked the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, join the Fab family. We'd love to have you. We'll see you in the next video.